if it wasn't for Gensler, we would have Goldman and Citibank and Millennium and, Bridgewater. We'd have big players from TradeFi very much engaged in this space. I'd be getting calls from bankers saying, oh, these guys want to buy you. Right now, there are no TradeFi buyers of crypto businesses. Maybe of custody because they'll put it into their skunk works for the future of tokenization. And that's solely because of fear of the Fed and the SEC. And so I think that could be, I think that's 2025. Quite frankly, I think we got to get through the election and we got to get a new head of the SEC. I just don't think Gensler's going to bend.
Mike Novogratz, the forward-thinking CEO of Galaxy Digital and a luminary in the cryptocurrency arena, delves into the dynamic world of Bitcoin and its growing ecosystem. His insights come at a crucial time, given the significant shift in the cryptocurrency market following Larry Fink's public endorsement of Bitcoin. Fink's support, in his role as the head of BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, has sent ripples through the financial community, marking a new era of legitimacy and potential for cryptocurrencies. Novogratz, renowned for his keen market foresight, interprets Fink's bullish stance as a pivotal moment, a clear signal to investors and market watchers that the digital currency landscape is undergoing unprecedented evolution. In this video, Novogratz discusses recent market movements and how the attitudes of major players are shaping the future of cryptocurrencies. He highlights the significance of influential financial leaders expressing interest in Bitcoin, emphasizing that this reflects a substantial shift in how the world perceives digital currencies. The endorsement by figures of Fink's stature is portrayed as a game-changing development, underscoring the transformative nature of these recent market dynamics.
Today, Larry Fink went on TV and gave the bullish Bitcoin story. I had a lot more confidence the ETF would happen. I said that the largest asset manager in the world has just credentialized our asset class. And I told him, I was like, dude, we've won. It's game over. Put your phone away, turn your screen off. You luckily don't have a 420-person business to manage with a big cost base and lots of moving parts and people's, careers, to worry about. You just have a giant pile of corn and it's going to be worth a whole lot more in a year. And so stop calling me so. He laughed. And of course, he called me 2 times the next day as well. But I really believe that. That was a game changer. It's been the biggest thing that's happened in our space all year. Praise be to the guys at Orange Pill Larry. I know who they are, but I'm sworn to secrecy. And I think it's real. I was just on with another giant asset manager about an hour ago, and he was just doing the math of, the 1% allocation globally with no supply, where prices could go. And it got me literally, I almost wanted to go out and buy 50,000 calls. There is a scenario of a parabolic move. Normally, we're at a place on the chart that we're supposed to be taking some profit, right? You bought it cheap or you bought options and whatnot. 42, 44, 45, it should pause. But man, oh man, it doesn't trade like that. It trades like, God, it's still, I've been really watching MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin, right? MicroStrategy trades at about a 21, 22% premium to Bitcoin. We know an ETF's coming. Why should an ETF proxy trade at a 20% premium to Bitcoin? You would assume when the ETF comes, that spread will go down. Michael Saylor last month sold $700 million or $650 million of MicroStrategy stock to buy Bitcoin at the premium. So he's doing trades that are accretive to book. What's shocking is he did that and the spread didn't move. And he's doing another $750 this month and the spread's not moving. It tells you just how much pent-up demand in the equity markets there is for crypto product. Marathon is trading, $16 a share. I think that's about 4 times book. It might even be higher than. But to put that in perspective, Galaxy trades at 1.2 times book. The U.S. equity market, Marathon is a stock that people want to play crypto through because there's no other place to play it. And so there is a ton of pent-up demand because, again, a mining stock is an okay proxy for Bitcoin-ish. I like Fred Thiel a lot. They've got okay assets. They're not great assets. I'm in the mining business as well. And it makes me scratch my head just how well these stocks trade. And so it makes me pretty damn bullish over the next 12 months.
Mike delves into the broader market sentiment, highlighting Bloomberg ETF analysts' expression of a 90% probability that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission will approve a spot Bitcoin ETF by January 10th. Despite this optimistic outlook, there's an acknowledgement that the launch of such an ETF might take several weeks or even months post-approval. X's head of product for the US and Europe, Dram, echoes this sentiment, foreseeing access to a spot Bitcoin ETF by Q2 2024, with a spot Ethereum ETF likely to follow. Despite these positive forecasts, Mike emphasizes the challenges and realities of market dynamics. He points out the substantial demand for long positions, evident in the Bitcoin futures premium on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange reaching a 2-year high. However, Mike exercises caution, noting recent corrections and liquidations that suggest major players may be stepping away from the current rally. This cautious stance signals a potential shift in market behavior, indicating that despite optimistic projections, challenges and uncertainties persist.
I went to the Fed in 2014 with Dan Moorhead. Me and Dan we met with Bill Dudley, who was, I don't think he was the Fed governor at the time. He was the number 2 guy. Maybe he was the governor. I believe Lil Brainerd was there. But a bunch of staffers to talk about Bitcoin. And they said something that has stayed in my mind. They were like, Bitcoin can never be a currency. They were like, we're fascinated with the blockchain. We're fascinated with these rails to move things on. And maybe it can be an asset, but currencies, there's never been a successful currency with a fixed supply. They're just too easy to manipulate and squeeze. And you have too much volatility. And that was their belief. And I think they're right. I don't think Bitcoin will ever be a currency that we buy Pepsi Cola with. And, listen, it started off, people bought illicit shit with it, but no one's buying stuff with Bitcoin. As much as people will talk Lightning and other things, yeah, you might use the infrastructure, but you're not going to use Bitcoin as a transaction currency.
No.
Because there's just no supply.
And it goes up.
Yes. And I was thinking about crypto today. One of the things I got really wrong is I used to say, there are 114 elements on the periodic table. Gold is the only one that has value just because it does. And the rest all need utility. And I thought Bitcoin could have value as just a store of value. And Ethereum and everything else needed real utility. And where I was wrong is all of these other cryptos in some way are a form of Bitcoin at this point. And that this ETF and these new inflows are buying time for any utility that we'll see in the future to get built. But the reality is most of the value right now in Solana or Ethereum or Doge or you name it, Celestia, is store of value. It's a community of people that have decided to store their money in this system, and they realize, wow, if I bring more people into the system, the price goes up, and I believe in this community and the structure. And I'm really nervous about the other world because I don't understand it, or I think I got screwed by it, or it's just not as cool. And so we're part all store of value at this point. There will be utility one day, I hope, right? Real utility. There'll be apps I can use to buy tickets or transfer stuff. But reality is Web3 has disappointed so far, right? In terms of the big utility gains, I do believe they're coming. And so other than payments, and most of that's with stable coins. And so we're really a narrative game, a storyteller's game. We're going to shift in crypto from being just a storyteller's game to a plumber's game, building the financial market and the regulatory infrastructure to really kind of change the way finance gets done. But none of that's happened yet, right? With the exception of stablecoins, right? People use Tether on Tron to move money around the Mideast and Africa and lots of places. Shout out to Justin Sun, who's just coining it. And again, that's even interesting because the idea originally was, oh my gosh, you need these decentralized systems that are fast and secure. And with Tron, you have something that's quasi-centralized, right? Justin runs most of the nodes, but it's fast and cheap. And for small payments, people don't care.
That's right. Because it's not a store of value. It's a transfer mechanism.
Yeah. And so I think it's interesting. We got a little bit religious on how we thought about these systems. And in reality, they're all communities, they're store of value that communities seem to care about.
According to its latest Proof of Reserves report, Binance faced a substantial decrease in its Bitcoin balance in November, witnessing a drop of over 23,000 Bitcoins or approximately 4%. This decline aligns with the exchange's regulatory challenges with U.S. authorities. As of the beginning of December, data from Binance website reveals that the total Bitcoin balance of its customers was 584,003 Bitcoins, indicating a notable withdrawal of assets during the regulatory hurdles. An analysis by CryptoSlate Insights highlighted a discernible trend among Binance users during this period. The platform experienced significant Bitcoin outflows from larger holders, while incoming funds were primarily sourced from retail users. Supporting this observation, DeFi Llama's data dashboard disclosed that Binance encountered outflows exceeding $2 billion between November 1st and December 1st. Notably, this reduction in Binance Bitcoin holdings coincided with the platform settling with U.S. authorities for over $4 billion, addressing multiple violations of financial laws. Additionally, the founder of Binance, Changpeng Zhao, stepped down as CEO after pleading guilty to charges related to money laundering. In response to these developments, what are your thoughts on Mike Novogratz's outlook on the cryptocurrency world and the potential impacts of regulatory forces on the ecosystem? Share your opinions in the comments section below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.